I am not exaggerating when I say I donated plasma twice a week religiously in order to make rent each month. Yet, I refused to compromise on my food quality because I was already convicted by the Lord about it. When everything felt like my world was crumbling around me, I realized that the only thing I could control was how well I took care of my body. So I made it a priority. That being said, I got really resourceful really fast, and in the process, learned a lot of tricks to eating healthy on a budget, like a tight budget.
Do you struggle to stay consistent with healthy eating and just want food decisions to be easy, guilt-free, and sustainable? You're in the right place. Hi, I'm Chelsea, nutritionist and fitness coach who overcame restrictive yo-yo dieting and body image insecurities using simple nutrition tools, all backed by biblical principles. And now I help women like you find that same freedom with food so you can feel confident in the look and health of your body for decades to come. I'm ready to dive in with you. So grab that cute notebook you've been hanging on to and let's go.
I wanted to let you know that I have been wearing my belt 2 notches tighter lately, and that feels amazing. All the knowledge I've gained from your program has made me much more aware of when I miss the mark, but even in my imperfection, I'm definitely moving in the general direction of progress. I feel like including vegetables is becoming second nature, and that's a big deal for me. This was a message I received this week from a wonderful woman who is currently in the Sustainable Way, my one-on-one nutrition coaching program, and it made my heart so happy. I just wanted to share it with you too. She started working with me on nutrition because she, 1, wanted to lead her family by example with healthy eating habits, and 2, wanted a Bible-inspired, non-diety way of doing so, and 3, had never done anything like this before and knew she needed more support than endless internet searches. And now, only halfway through the coaching program, she's feeling more confident in her clothes and her ability to nourish the incredible body God gave her. If you want to make healthy eating your everyday lifestyle without all the confusion, diet rules, and trying to find the willpower to stick with it, head to coachrain.com/dietfree to book a nutrition coaching session with me. This is your chance to hash out all your burning questions about what is actually healthy with a real person and walk away with a detailed plan for exactly what to do next. It's only 1 hour of your time for a boatload of confidence. That's coachrain.com/dietfree to get started, just like my client did only a few weeks ago. And now, welcome to Nutrition for Christian Women. How to eat healthy on a budget. Oh, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I do believe I am the queen at this, in the most humble way possible, of course. And that's honestly because I've had to be for so long. When I really started my deep, healthy eating journey, I was fresh out of college and the exact stereotype of poor, working a part-time job, living in an apartment with a roommate I found on Craigslist that went about as terribly as it sounds, with student loan debt up to my eyeballs. I am not exaggerating when I say I donated plasma twice a week religiously in order to make rent each month. Yet, I refused to compromise on my food quality because I was already convicted by the Lord about it. That was the lowest, darkest season of my life, and when everything felt like my world was crumbling around me, I realized that the only thing I could control was how well I took care of my body. So I made it a priority. That being said, I got really resourceful really fast, and in the process, learned a lot of tricks to eating healthy on a budget, like a tight budget. So in today's episode, I'm going to give you 5 ways you can lower the cost of your grocery bill without resorting to ramen noodles. Actually, fun fact, I've never had ramen noodles, at least not from a packet or styrofoam cup. Starting with number 1, triage what's important to you with healthy eating. Is it the organic label, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken? Making sure you have some kind of vegetable included regardless of the form. Think about what you value in a healthful meal and prioritize that when making your list. For me, it's everything I just listed. I care a lot about how my animal protein is raised and harvested, not just because of the nutritional value, but because I am a lover of our planet and take seriously the call God placed on man in Genesis to tend the land. As for produce, I usually follow the EWG's Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 lists to determine which items to spend the extra on to get organic and which ones I'm cool with getting conventional. I always have frozen veggies on hand in case I don't get to the store for fresh veggies. Or worse, when I get there, everything is on the verge of death and not worth buying. But my priority is mainly to make sure that they are included in some capacity. It may not always be the high-end produce, and I'm okay with that personally. I had a client once who felt very strongly that every vegetable she had needed to be organic. So that was her priority. Triage what is important to you when you think about healthful eating. From there brings me to number 2. Alternate between the more expensive and lesser expensive items. For example, if I get grass-fed steak one week, the next week I may have wild-caught canned mackerel or sardines. This is great for a couple of reasons. First, the average monthly cost of groceries goes down because we're not always getting the top shelf cuts of meat or exotic produce. And second, it forces variety in our dietary routine, which the gut microbiome loves. Not to mention, it helps keep us from getting burnt out from eating the same thing over and over and over again. Now, that doesn't mean you have to reinvent the wheel every week with a fresh menu. That's why I teach my nutrition clients the Diamond Meal Framework and help them create new meals weekly. A major part of the sustainable way is ensuring you have that muscle fully developed. So, alternate between the higher priced and the lower priced items to help keep your overall grocery bill in check. The third strategy I suggest to eat healthy on a budget is to find an ethnic or non-big name market to do your shopping at. This hack has saved me literally tens of thousands of dollars over the years. And that's because oftentimes small, local, non-American markets are family-owned and operated with vendors who are very much the same. It's a network of family connections. So they can get away with lower prices because they don't have to pay as many middlemen to get the food on the shelves and in your cart. I personally have this incredible Mediterranean market not too far from me where I get basically all of my produce. It's fresh, oftentimes locally grown, and way less expensive than the big box chain grocers. They don't always have the widest selection, and because they aren't coated in waxy preservatives, I have to use them quickly before they perish. But that is worth it for me. They also have a fresh meat counter with a butcher on site who will slice meat and cheese by request. One way I help my clients find something like this near them is to find a place with a farmer's market vibe that you would see in countries outside developed parts of first world countries. Think about walking through the little neighborhood streets of Italy or Thailand or even Costa Rica, where you can buy freshly picked produce or freshly butchered meat literally off the street. Think those vibes and search for a market or shop to find your hidden gem. I recognize that not everyone may be able to access this, but if you can, it is a game changer. Somewhat related is strategy number 4 to eat healthy on a budget, and that is to buy in bulk directly from the farmer or rancher themselves. A couple of options here. Subscribing to a CSA program, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture, gets you fresh, local, seasonal produce where you can get to know the people who grew it directly. No mysterious farm 500 miles away, plus the truck loader, truck driver, unloader, shelf stalker, strangers filing through the pile on the shelf, dirty conveyor belts at the checkout, cashier's hands, all to get it in your kitchen. A CSA is directly from the source with plant food. For meat, buying from a rancher directly can save you tons of money. Yes, this is typically an investment up front, but it pays off. My friends at Ebersol Cattle Company in Iowa run a cattle ranch and have numerous options for buying beef in bulk. You can invest in a whole cow, which will feed a family of 4 for probably a couple of years, to be honest, but also half and quarter steers. They will even send you 10-pound boxes of fresh grass-fed beef directly to your door. And you can get to know them directly. They'll tell you all about their cows, the life they live, how they harvest, all that good info to have about the food you eat and feed your family. In fact, if you want to check out their bulk beef options, and even the ranch itself, you can visit ebersolcattleco.com, which I will also link in the show notes. I actually got a bag of bones from them that I just made into bone broth, and now I don't have to buy $7 cartons of broth for quite a long time. That's a bonus tip for saving money on healthy eating, using the whole animal and whole plant. And the 5th strategy I regularly use to eat healthy on a budget is likely not news to you, but that is to shop the sales. I can't tell you how many times I have made a menu for the week, but then when I get to the store, I see something else that's on sale, so I switch my plan on the spot to incorporate that item. That's the beauty of the Diamond Meal framework. It's a template that allows for flexibility. So if I had planned to make chicken breast, but then I see that chicken drumsticks are $2 less per pound than normal, I'll make the switch. I also wait for the expensive stuff I like to go on sale before buying and stocking up. I literally have a stack of ground venison and elk in my freezer right now that's normally quite expensive for my budget, but when I saw it was multiple dollars off per pound, I invested, which will save me down the road on a week or two's grocery bill because I can just use what's stored in the freezer versus buying something brand new. And pro tip as a coach with this one, it also helps with temptation control. If you make the personal boundary not to buy something unless it's on sale, it can keep us from impulse purchases that don't serve our bigger health goals. And those are 5 of my favorite strategies to eating healthy on a budget. Again, this is something I've become an expert at by necessity for most of my adult life. So if you could use some guidance and even more custom-tailored strategies to help you prioritize healthy eating while balling on a budget, visit coachrain.com/dietfree and book your coaching session with me. And a quick recap of the 5 tricks I shared with you today for eating healthy on a budget are: number 1, triage what's important to you when it comes to food quality. Number 2, alternate spending between the higher priced and the lower priced items while maintaining what's important to you about quality. Number 3, find small local markets. Number 4, buy in bulk directly from the farmer or rancher. And number 5, shop the sales and stock up when you can. That's it for today. Save this episode for future you to listen back on and implement at least one of these strategies. And book your nutrition coaching session at coachrain.com/dietfree. I'll see you there.
I pray this episode was helpful to you, my friend. If so, could you do me a massive favor and take 30 seconds to write a review? This is the best way to bless me big and help more people learn just how simple eating healthy consistently can be. And if you want more value-packed info from me, head to coachrain.com and sign up for the Weekly Harvest, my weekly emails filled with recipes, how to use food as medicine, biblical nutrition, and more. That's coachreign.com for the Weekly Harvest. Blessings until next time, sis. Toodles.